Shri Abdul Samad Samdani ji.
Thank you, sir, for permitting me to take part in this very important discussion on the supplementary demands. Sir, enough has been said about these supplementary demands and the budgetary allocations and also the economic policies of the government. It is quite natural, sir, in this kind of an occasion, we will be going into the details of the government's economic policy. Sir, Mahatma Gandhi said, whenever we are going to take a decision, especially related with the welfare of the people, we have to take into consideration at the foremost level the most grief-stricken person of the country, the last person standing in the queue. Sir, with such an angle, if you observe the economic policy of the government, sir, we are compelled to say that it is a very sorry picture, a dismal picture that the government is presenting. In short, sir, what has happened in the country is that the rich are getting big things and the big persons in the country are getting rich. That is happening. And the government is adding fuel into the already existing difficulties, pains and anguish of the depressed, downtrodden, backward sections of the country, including the minorities and the Dalits. Sir, for a very economic policy, if it has to be healthy, the governing authority has to take into consideration, first of all, the diverse character of the country. The diversity is very important. It is the very backbone of democracy. Sir, democratic countries can become rich countries. There is a lesson before us. For example, sir, according to the latest statistics, world statistics, the top richest countries of the world by per capita income are, out of 10 countries, 8 countries are full-fledged democratic countries. 1 country, half democratic country. It is a lesson for us, sir. Those countries are Luxembourg, Ireland, Switzerland, Norway, USA, Iceland, Denmark, Singapore, and Australia. All these countries, democratic countries, have come to progress. But, sir, what is our country's real situation? Mere arithmetic will not be able, sir. With that, the government cannot conceal the picture of the grief-stricken people of the country. For example, sir, the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, CMIE, according to their statistics, it is a very sorrowful picture that the poor people of the country are facing. We know, sir, the condition in the COVID days, fuel price hike, and also now in the global hunger index, nobody can deny. The meaning cannot be denied. Even in such a situation, I don't know why the government is trying to exploit the distressed people. I can't understand the logic, sir, behind the withdrawal of the concessions given for the elders among train passengers. It has been withdrawn. Sir, I oppose it. It is very bad. It was a concession already enjoyed by the elders of our railway passengers. Such economic measures are taken by the government. Sir, in certain states, the land of the poor persons, they are confiscated. In Assam, the trouble took place. The real phenomena behind is that their lands are confiscated. In Assam and Tripura, there were attacks against minorities. Sir, it is a part of the corporate agenda that accumulation through dispossession. It's a part of new liberal words economic policy. और सरकार, सर, पिछड़े जो तबका है, उनके जो लोग हैं, उनको बचाने के लिए कुछ नहीं करते, उनको मदद करने के लिए कुछ नहीं करते. साहिल के तमाशाई हर डूबने वाले पर, साहिल के तमाशाई हर डूबने वाले पर अफसोस तो करते हैं, इमदाद नहीं करते. Sir, they are just mourning upon their condition, but they are not ready to help our people. And sir, our honorable finance ministry is present in this house. Sir, the government should clarify to the country why these public sector assets had to be sold for the corporates in the name of bringing private participation in public sectors. Sir, our public sector institutions are actually... No. Sir, I am only speaker for my party. Sir, these public sector institutions are the symbols of our national sentiment. It is a symbol of our freedom movement. And sir, and it's a sign of our national pride. Sir, giving for lease, and the government, the honorable minister was saying that 20 items of assets will be sold within 4 years and 6 lakh crores of rupees will be collected. Sir, is this kind of a policy good for our country? And sir, now the corporates are getting 2 benefits. One, the tax reduction, and they can purchase good assets, valuable assets for cheaper rates. In these 2 ways, they are helped. But sir, I would like to stress and emphasize here, this privatization of the airports, railways, in the list of which our very important airport in Kerala, Kozhikode Airport, is also included, sir, which belongs to my constituency. Sir, we oppose it because the service mind behind all these public sector institutions cannot be taken into consideration by the private parties. They look for profit only. Sir, I am concluding. While I conclude, I would like to stress the fate of our peasantry, the farmers. Sir, agriculture is the very basis of our Indian economy. Not only Mahatma Gandhi, our great leaders of our country have stressed the role of peasantry, the farmers. And the government's attitude is very negative. And for even, sir, centuries back, I remember a king who ruled our country about 500,000 years. He said, sir, 1 minute, I am concluding by just making this quotation. The cultivators are a source of prosperity. I have encouraged them and shall always watch over their condition that no man may oppress and injure them. If a ruler cannot protect the humble peasantry from the lawless, it is tyranny to extract revenue from them. Unquote. Sir, in this way, the peasantry and the labor class have to be protected. So, in the circumstances, I think the government will be coming forward to correct this kind of policies and to include the interests of the downtrodden and the backward classes into consideration.
Thank you.
In the circumstances, sir, I am standing here to oppose this